Hey everybody, I'm Cresylsnapdragon, and welcome to my second video ever that's one of those 15 types of games that are like this. This one in particular is 15 Pokemon-esque games to play while you wait for Sword and Shield to come out. Ooh, I'm so excited, I just can't wait, but these 15 games will help me hold on until we're finally able to play it. Ah! Okay, so the way this works is I have several PC games, maybe a console game or two, and then some mobile games as well. They're not in any particular order. I just sort of divided them by PC, console, and mobile. Mobiles are towards the end. So our first game in the list is Re-Legend. Now, Re-Legend is described as an all-encompassing RPG simulator hybrid with strong monster raising and multiplayer features. You actually can do a lot in this game besides monster taming. It's kind of a cross between Portal Knights and Harvest Moon. Notice the graphics kind of look like Portal Knights, and you get different classes of combat. You can be a mage, working with a staff. You can also be an archer, for instance, or you can use a sword. There are a bunch of life skills as well, like fishing and farming, gathering, logging, crafting armor and weapons. So it really does remind me of Portal Knights. And of course, Harvest Moon with the farming aspect of the game. But you do get to tame some monsters, and oh my gosh, the monsters are adorable. Look at that, that's a Draco newt right there, and it's just so cute, and you can ride them. And in some cases, they can even help you out with chores around the farm. So that's Re-Legend. Our next game is Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary is a pixel art monster collecting game. It kind of looks like Metroidvania, or I would say Terraria, or even Planet Centauri. It has a lot of dungeons for you to explore. You don't really tame or catch monsters, instead you hatch them. So every time you're in a battle and the monsters drop loot, you have a chance of collecting an egg, and then you can hatch and evolve those monsters. I actually really like the monsters that they currently have in game, and they even have these higher tier monsters that they refer to as champion monsters for you to fight. The combat is actually really difficult. It is strategically turn-based. You really have to understand your type matchups, or you will lose pretty often. But it is a lot of fun, and I do encourage you to check it out. Our next game is Digimon Masters Online. Digimon Masters Online is an MMORPG. It is free to play with some microtransactions to enhance your gameplay. What I really like about this game is it just reminds me of Digimon, the first movie. Oh my gosh, do you remember that movie? It was so good, and so many of the Digimon in this game, especially the first ones in the beginning areas, I remember from that movie. It's just awesome, like Agumon. Oh my gosh, it just brings out the nostalgia in me so much. So if you haven't checked this game out yet, and you like Digimon, or you just remember Digimon from the 90s, you have got to go download this game off Steam. It's free. You can do it now. You don't really catch or tame the Digimon, you really just collect bits of eggs and then you hatch them. But it's really an easy game to learn. There's a low learning curve. I think you'd have a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend it. So go download it! Get that nostalgia on! Our next game is Riders of Icarus. Now this game is also an MMORPG, and like Digimon Masters Online, it is free to play. This game is really cool though, because you do get to tame monsters, and they can be either your pet, or you can even ride them as a mount. And we're talking like Pegasus mounts that you can tame, some of the more boss type creatures you can tame if you have the right material. It's really cool, and it's a really beautiful game for what it is. It's sort of what Bless Online was supposed to be, where Bless Online faltered, Riders of Icarus kind of picked it up. It is an amazing game, and I do recommend checking it out. Again, it's just free. You download it on Steam, and just look at some of the monsters that you can tame, and it's really easy to learn. You get some really cool monsters really fast in game. You don't have to wait that long, which is really nice if you're impatient like myself. Not to mention, there are just some really epic armor in this game, epic battles, really cool classes to choose from when you're in the character select screen. Definitely go download this game and give it a chance. Again, it's free, so why wait? Our next game is, oh my gosh, Temtem. This game is the Pokemon-esque game MMO that we have all been waiting for. It is exactly like Pokemon in concept and execution, but the creatures are all new, the characters are different, and you get to play with your friends. How awesome is that? And look at these creatures, they're absolutely adorable. This game just got released on alpha access through Discord. I don't think it's currently open anymore, so you should definitely look out for it. But if you join the developers Discord, they have naming polls for new Temtem all the time. I see it all the time. So you know that they're still developing it, but they're actually putting time into their game. It's really cool, and you should check it out next time they open up alpha access or when they go into beta. I'll put their Discord link down in the info for the video. But there's evolution for the creatures, it's really cool. The mechanics are really smooth. There are some balancing issues, I think, that need to be taken care of with regards to combat and how much damage is dealt and mitigated. But other than that, this game is fantastic. Our next game is World of Final Fantasy. This game was originally released as a tribute to the franchise, and I have to say it did the job really well. You see characters from all of the Final Fantasy games in this game, and it's really cool, especially for someone like me. I actually haven't played all of the Final Fantasy games, but I still get to appreciate all the characters. So you get to see Cloud, for instance. But in addition to seeing all the Final Fantasy characters from the older franchise games, you also get to catch what are called mirages. They're the monsters, and some of them look really cool, and they usually have 2 or 3 evolutions that they can undertake. So you have a lot of mirages to choose from, a lot of evolution options for each one. Generally, some of them don't evolve, and some of them only have 1 evolution that they can take. But it's really cool. The graphics are gorgeous. The storyline is impeccable. The combat and the battles is intense, and it's all turn-based, of course. And you get to do this stacking feature, which is kind of funny, actually. But I really enjoy it. It increases like how much HP you have and AP that you have, and you stack together, you tend to become one big awesome thing when you stack with all your mirages. It's a kind of cool mechanic. Again, the storyline is just, oh my god. But what else do you expect from Square Enix? They've always been ahead of the curve with video games, especially in graphics and animation, and this game is no exception. It's amazing. So if you haven't played it yet, I do recommend it. So the next game in the list, I kind of have to add, it's World of Warcraft. They do have a pet catching and battling sort of mini game system in the game, and they add new pets every time they release an expansion. It's actually a lot of fun if you want something extra on the side to do. I can't with this game. This game gives me so many goals and creatures to collect if you also extend it to the mounts. It just, it gets my OCD going. I just have to collect everything, and then I have to achieve all the achievements. I gotta get the 200 mounts. It's insane. But I do kind of like the little pet battling, fighting mechanic. It's pretty adorable. It's obviously not the main feature, but I did want to throw it in. Our next game is kind of an old one. It's Siralim. So Siralim was first released in 2015, I believe, and it just really took off. It's a RPG-esque game with roguelike elements, and you get to summon and customize over 700 different types of creatures that you get to use in battle. You get to basically adventure through these randomly generated dungeons which is kind of cool. It's like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, except not exactly, but it does have dungeons. So this game actually took off. There's also a sequel, and I believe there is a third. I haven't really played too much of it, but you do get to craft and enchant equipment for your creatures. You also get to breed, I believe, as well, to unlock new creatures, which is pretty cool. So I do suggest checking this game out. It is on Steam. It's pretty cheap for what it is. I believe it's like $10 to get the first one. And then they also have 2 and 3. So check it out if you haven't already. The next game on the list is none other than Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. This was released for the 3DS, but you can also get it for the PS4. This game actually has what are called spirits that you can collect to aid both Sora and Riku. They help attack during battle, basically, and they're totally adorable, by the way. You got a little one that looks like a cute little pudgy dog. You have one that looks like a cute little bat. I mean, honestly, it's Square Enix. They always have some type of bat in the game. But this is Kingdom Hearts we're talking about. Kingdom Hearts is probably one of the most well-known, greatest franchises in the world of gaming. I mean, we all probably played it when it was, what was it, PS1 or PS2? I first played it on PS2, maybe? I can't remember anymore. I'm getting old at this point. But what else is there to say about Kingdom Hearts? It is Kingdom Hearts with spirit collecting, which is in essence animal collecting. So if you haven't played it yet, you should check it out. You also get to follow both Sora and Riku in their own sort of separate stories, which is kind of cool. You sort of go between them, and you get to revisit the worlds again. So check this game out as well if you haven't already. Again, you can get it for PS4 in the remastered game discs. So the next game I've added to the list is Minecraft Pixelmon, and I had to throw this one a bone because what they've done with it is nothing short of amazing. So you can actually download this mod from Technic Launcher, and it's free, and I think they've added all of the Pixelmon now. I mean, up until Generation 7, obviously, but the graphics are gorgeous. I mean, the 3D of each Pixelmon is really well done, and you can even create your own world and configure it so that you can make a Pixelmon universe. It's really cool. You can set your Pixelmon, specific Pixelmon, to spawn in specific places. You can put grass down so that they're walking around in the grass. It has all of the legendaries, and they already have servers that you can play on. So if you wanted to go ahead and jump into a server that's already been built and created, you can jump into that server, start catching Pixelmon right away. Super cool. And just look at Mewtwo. He looks super cool. Looks super cool. Whatever issues there are with this mod, it's Minecraft issues. If you try to build your own server and build your own things, sometimes the grid can break and then you lose it, and then that makes you really sad because that happened to me. But you know, that's okay. You gotta get back up and try again. The mod is so worth it. If you haven't tried it, you totally should if you already have Minecraft downloaded. If you haven't played Minecraft, maybe try giving it a shot, if not just for this mod. So the next game, we're getting into mobile games now. This one is called Drakomon. It is really similar to Pokemon. You go traveling through the grass and you come upon these Drakomon that you get to battle and catch. They basically inhabit this world of Dragonia, and you're the hero starting from Floor Village, going out on an adventure, catching these Drakomon. Like Pokemon, there are different elements: fire, water, electric. The combat system's pretty similar as well. There are cave systems that you can go into. They don't ask that you pay, but they don't make you pay, but they do ask for maybe going premium so that you can support their work, which is really nice. I decided to do that because the game is actually pretty fun. There, at this moment, are not a lot of Drakomon in-game, and the evolutions kind of leave something to be desired, because the skins of the Drakomon just don't really change with evolution, which is kind of discouraging. I love it when the evolution creates a new skin for the monster. But other than that, it's a good game. I suggest you check it out on mobile. The next mobile Pokemon-esque game is called Evertale, and this game is really pretty, and the battle's really fluid. You basically get a band of heroes together, both human and creature, and the creatures you get to capture as you're out in the world battling them. And there are a lot to choose from, some of which are rare, which is really cool. And this game is just really, really addicting. The creatures evolve as well, so you have about 180 monsters and heroes to choose from. In some cases, you have humanoid heroes that want to join you on your travels. The game, you can get through a lot of it without paying any money. If you want to summon more creatures or have a chance of summoning a really rare creature, you might have to pay money, but in most cases, I haven't had to pay anything because the diamond currency that you obtain, you can get by just logging on daily. So I've gotten to summon quite a number of monsters from eggs, which is really nice because I'm not one to spend money to hatch a buttload of eggs and only get a few cool things. The next game is probably the most Pokemon-esque out of all the mobile games, and next to Temtem, probably the most Pokemon-esque out of all the games in this list. It's called Nexmon, and it has a ton of monsters for you to capture. The one thing I don't like about this game is that it's such a grind because capturing, the capture rate is set really low for some reason, and you just go through your Nexomon catching ball-esque things so quickly. And then you have to go kill a bunch of Nexomon to get money to go to the shop and get more of the traps for the Nexomon. It can be a little frustrating, but that's okay because the game is totally worth it, has a great storyline. It really is probably the most Pokemon-esque out of all the games in this list. Temtem coming in second. The penultimate game is called Neomon. It's another mobile monster catching game. You actually get to go and you get to catch and tame the monsters. They each generally have multiple evolutions that look pretty epic, and it's pretty challenging sometimes. You do have to think about your type matchups, which is kind of nice if you want to challenge. And the storyline is pretty good for a mobile game as well. You get to find some rare Neomon that look really awesome and do some side things as well. So if you haven't checked out this game yet, I do encourage you to do so. So the last game on this list is Monster Super League. This is sort of a monster catching RPG similar to Summoner's War, except Summoner's War doesn't have monster catching. These monsters even have shiny versions, so they're called Astromon. They have shinies and you can also come upon rares. But like Summoner's War, there are different stones that you obtain from dungeons. In this case, you use them for evolution. They have some really cool skins with evolution. The monsters do change. It's a really cool game you should check out. That is the last of our Pokemon-esque games that you should play while you wait for Sword and Shield. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I think these games are going to help me out. Are they going to help you out? Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Again, please subscribe and throw it a like, maybe a comment if you have any feedback, and I'll see you guys next time.